Hey everybody, thanks for jumping on today's Felix Fast Five. I'm Liam Gill, an account executive here at Felix. Today I'm going to talk through the topic of supply chain ESG. Supply chain ESG involves evaluating and addressing the impacts of supply chain activities on the environment, society, and business governance to ensure that the supply chain operates in a sustainable and ethical manner. With an understanding of supply chain ESG bedded down, I thought it'd be worthwhile next to cover off some key challenges that we often hear from the market here at Felix. Firstly, accurate, vetted, and accessible ESG vendor data. Capturing, reporting on, and embedding accurate ESG vendor data into procurement policies and frameworks has never been more critical. Given that ESG is still a relatively new area for most organizations, we often find that ESG-related vendor data is limited or non-existent. And if it does exist, a lot of the time it's not accurate or up to date. Next, we see the evolving decision-making process when evaluating tenders. Looking back, we'd commonly see companies award contracts based purely on pricing from vendors. In more recent times, we've seen the evaluation process evolve to include more departments and evaluation criteria as part of the vendor recommendation process, factoring in areas such as sustainability, safety, local or Indigenous participation, and other areas. What this has led to is drawn-out evaluation timelines, more in-depth submissions being completed by suppliers, and increased costs to ensure relative KPIs clients set out are being met by the vendors. The third point is emissions tracking. So this is a relatively new area for businesses that commenced from the 1st of January 2025. This is the introduction of mandatory climate reporting for those businesses who have in excess of $500 million revenue annually. This introduction of mandatory reporting marks a significant change for large corporates and brings a raft of challenges around additional resourcing and data quality. So how can Felix help all these challenges? The opportunity here is to turn these supply chain ESG challenges, which are traditionally viewed as resource intensive and cumbersome, into a strategic point of difference for your organization. This can be achieved by implementing the best of breed systems for various areas of the business to ensure the correct capture and harnessing of information, such as Felix for vendor management and procurement. I'll now chat through how Felix can help solve these challenges discussed earlier. Firstly, let's look at embedding ESG in your vendor pre-qualification. Capturing the right vendor data upfront is crucial, and it can save significant time and effort downstream when running procurement activities, such as sourcing events. With Felix, our customers leverage our professional services expertise to implement a configurable, ESG-specific questionnaire during the pre-qualification process. This questionnaire is configured based on elements such as the type of vendor, the services they are delivering, and the regions that they're operating in. Felix enables our clients to move away from those traditional manual one-size-fits-all approach to vendor pre-quals and allow them to be more strategic in how they service vendor onboarding. This results in faster onboarding times, reduced back and forth with vendors, or the incomplete information from vendors when submitting their application. Felix offers an out-of-the-box pre-qualification questionnaire covering areas such as ESG, safety, modern slavery, and more, should your business require assistance in these areas. Secondly, let's look at improving transparency in the tender evaluation process. Gone are the days of lengthy tender evaluation tables managed in Excel and forwarded around to email inboxes to a group of stakeholders, ensuring everyone is copied in. Felix brings the evaluation process to life by incorporating the criteria your business cares about in platform relative to the goods or services being sourced. Harnessing technology in this space provides clarity on who is involved in the evaluation, transparency on the scoring of criteria, and bottlenecks that occur in the evaluation process, allowing for effective escalation accordingly. With more departments now having a stake in the evaluation process, Felix provides complete visibility and holds individuals and departments accountable. And lastly, to finish off, let's talk about tracking and reporting on emissions. Scope 3 is often dubbed as the most complex of emissions to track for organizations. Felix makes the data collection process streamlined and straightforward, not only for Scope 3 emissions, but any material reporting that is required to have input from organization supply chains. Felix allows clients to embed survey templates to trigger out to one or a group of vendors. These surveys are then received by vendors in their Felix portal where they can respond. The data is then fed back to the organisation's relevant department, such as sustainability for Scope 3 emissions, for review and further reporting. Some scenarios where we often see this in use are modern slavery, Scope 3 emissions, and even happiness surveys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Felix Fast Five, looking at supply chain ESG. If your business would like to learn more on how Felix can help enable your supply chain ESG initiatives, then feel free to reach out to the team.